everybody, my name is Kat and I like books. So today I am with my friend Elizabeth.
Hi, I kind of like books.
And we are going to the Dollar Tree and we're just gonna get some books, I guess. Okay.
Yeah.
Here we go.
We out here.
We out here. We really are. We getting some books. Dollar Tree. Hey,
Okay,
so the next part of this video recorded sideways for some reason, and I'm not really sure how to fix it, so I'm just gonna leave this here. Okay, thanks.
Oh my god.
We just left the Dollar Tree. We got a good haul of books. We got a fat stack.
Fat stack of books.
And now we are walking to Half Price Books because we need another fat stack of books.
And the lady thought we stole a book.
The lady did think we stole a book. She was scanning it and it wasn't scanning, and she looked at me and she said, "Ma'am, is this from our store?"
Like we stole a book from another store.
Only to be charged
at
the dollar store.
Like, why would we even bring it in to get it charged there?
And I was like, "Yeah." And she was like, "Okay." She brought it up as if she was gonna fight us about it, and then didn't even care, didn't even question us. But you know what?
Crossing the street.
All right, so I'll update you when we're in Barnes & Noble. So we just finished at Half Price Books, and I haven't been there in like a hot minute, and so I was kind of overwhelmed because I forgot.
Oh my god, they put velvet tattoo.
Sorry, passing by Play-Dohs. So yeah, I really was not expecting that. They have some real
They have
deals.
really good books.
Good deals, good books, good
Solid.
service. The
Oh,
guy
yeah.
was really nice. This is a Half Price Books review.
Yeah. 5 stars for Half Price Books.
5 out of 5.
Pretty good.
And y'all know I don't give 5 out of 5 reviews. I just don't do it. So 5 out of 5.
Y'all know.
What, the one person watching it and it's actually my brother because he's my only subscriber.
I'll go subscribe. I'll do it right now.
Aw, thanks.
Okay, turn it off later.
Okay, so we are back from the dollar store. This is the next day, actually, because I had other things to do that night that I didn't want to vlog, and I didn't have time to film my actual haul, so here we are. Elizabeth has left us, which is so sad. I miss her, but it's okay. We will carry on. I'm going to start off with showing you all the different books that I got, and kind of reading and telling you the plot of them, and why I decided to pick them out of the fabulous selection at the dollar store. In no particular order, so yeah. Let's start off with My Best Everything, a novel by Sarah Tomp. The Best of Everything is about, let me read the blurb for you. Lulu Mendez longs to leave behind her small Virginia town and her job at the local junkyard in favor of sunny California and college life. So when her father loses her tuition money, Lulu needs a new ticket out fast. Desperate for funds, she and her friends cook up a scheme to make and sell moonshine, the homemade, high-profit, and highly illegal alcohol that surfaces every now and then at parties and bars. Looking for a guide into the secret world, they turn to Mason, a boy with a troubled past and the skills to go with it. With Mason's know-how and Lulu's determination, the plan just might work. Except, Lulu never planned to fall for a boy with no future, and as the summer burns on and dangerously closes in, Lulu realizes that getting everything she always wanted might mean losing more than she can bear. Now, this book sounds like a love story within a crime drama, which I love because I love romance novels, and you will see through this entire haul that basically every book I got is a romance novel because that is the majority at the dollar store. So that's just kind of what you're going to get unless you want World War II nonfiction, which isn't really my jam. Next up, I got Fractured by Terry, which actually was a mistake. This is actually the second book in the Slated trilogy, a trilogy I've never heard of, did not start, will probably not be able to find the first book for, and did not mean to buy, but it ended up on my stack somehow. But I'll read it for you. A riveting psychological thriller set in a disturbing future that feels all too real. Ever since she woke up in the hospital with her memory erased, Kyla has been different from the other Slateds, questioning things she shouldn't, and now something has cracked open inside her. Fragments of memory show she's capable of violence and might have done anything before she was slated. Kyla longs to find out what happened to her slated friend Ben, but the Lourders won't hand over the information she so desperately wants without a price. Caught in the middle of a tug-of-war between dangerous adversaries, Kyla must work out where she stands before it is too late in a world that seeks to control her. Every move is a gamble, and nothing, not even her own memories, can be trusted. So it does seem super duper interesting. It's just the second book, and I really don't plan on reading the first one, but it could be good. The next one is Glow by Ned Bowman. Glow is about a young man who loves partying, basically. I'll read you the blurb, but I was just honestly surprised to find this at the dollar store because I feel like I've heard of it before. And it's a very pretty cover. I think it's gorgeous. And it was $1. Like, it's not like the 99-cent store where some things are $5 and some things can be $3. Like, everything at the store was $1. And so, like, this is hardback. Like, there are almost all of these books in this pile are hardbacks. So that was just weird to me. Anyways, on with the blurb. South London, May 2010. Foxes are behaving strangely. Burmese immigrants are going missing, and everyone is trying to get hold of a new party drug called Glow. A young man suffering from a rare sleep disorder will uncover the connections between all these anomalies in this taut, riveting new novel by a young writer hailed by The Guardian as playful, arresting, unnerving, opulent, rude, and above all deliciously, startlingly, exuberantly fresh. Boy, do they know what adjectives are, am I right, ladies? Now, for the actual plot. 22-year-old Ralph spends his days walking Rose, a bull terrier who guards the transmitters for a pirate radio station, and his nights at raves and warehouses and laundrettes. When his friend Theo vanishes without a trace, Ralph's efforts to find him will lead straight into the heart of a global corporate conspiracy. Meanwhile, he's falling in love with a beautiful young woman he met at one of those raves, but he'll soon discover that there is far more to cherish than meets the eye. Combining the pace drama and explosive plot twists of a thriller with his trademark intellectual, linguistic, and comedic pyrotechnics, Glow is Ned Bowman's most compelling, virtuosic, and compulsively readable novel yet. Can somebody tell whoever wrote these little blurbs for this book that they can calm down with the adjectives? Because I don't know if you heard how many I just said. Playful, arresting, unnerving, opulent, rude, deliciously, startlingly, exuberantly fresh. Compelling, virtuosic, linguistic, intellectual, comedic, compulsive. Yeah, I don't know how many that is. I wasn't counting, but I'm sure you do because you counted for sure, right? You totally counted. Thank you. So yeah, I think it sounds like a really interesting plot. I'm really excited to see what it has going for it, to see if it's actually good, because we'll probably actually read this one. So yeah. The next book that I picked up was Feud by Avery Hastings. This is another romance novel set in what I think is a dystopian world. The spine is very pretty. I really like this color. So let's read the blurb. For Davis Morrow, perfection is a daily reality. Like all priors, Davis has spent her whole life primed to be smarter, stronger, and more graceful than the lowly imperfects, or imps. A fiercely ambitious ballerina, Davis is only a few weeks away from her qualifying for the Olympiads and finally living up to her mother's legacy when she meets Cole, a mysterious boy who leaves her with more questions each time he disappears. Davis has no idea that Cole has his own agenda, or that he's a rising star in the Feuds, an underground fighting ring where priors gamble on imps. Cole has every reason to hate Davis. Her father's campaign hinges on the total segregation of imps and priors. But despite his best efforts, Cole finds himself as drawn to Davis as she is to him. Then Narcissus, a deadly virus, takes its hold, and Davis's friends start dying. When the priors refuse to acknowledge the epidemic, Davis has no one to turn to but Cole. Falling in love was never part of their plan, but their love may be the only thing that can save her world. So of course it sounds super cheesy, super romantic, super dystopian, which is some of my favorite things. So I think this one might be good. I'm not quite sure. The writing could be awful. I could be completely wrong, but it doesn't sound half bad. So we'll see. I'm excited for this one. I got is The Beautiful and the Cursed by Paige Morgan. I'm pretty sure that this is another romance novel. The back is like super photoshopped. Like, I don't know if you can tell on camera, but look at that gargoyle. That's really funny to me. But yeah, let's read. Let's blurb it up. After a bizarre accident, Ingrid Waverley is forced to leave London with her mother and younger sister, Gabby, trading a world full of fancy dresses and society events for the unfamiliar city of Paris. In Paris, there are no grand balls or glittering parties for Ingrid, and disturbingly, the house her twin brother Grayson was sent ahead to secure for the family isn't a house at all. It's an abbey. It's an abandoned abbey. Its roof lined with stone gargoyles that could almost be mistaken for living, breathing creatures. And Grayson is missing. No one seems worried about his whereabouts save for Luke, a devastatingly handsome servant at their new home. Ingrid isn't sure her twin isn't dead. She can feel it deep in her soul, but she knows he's in grave danger, and that it's up to her and Gabby to find him before all hope is lost. The path to Grayson will be twisted, leading Ingrid to discover dark secrets and otherworldly truths that once uncovered can never be buried. So this is more of a mystery thriller, perhaps. There is a devastatingly handsome servant that I'm sure is the love interest and will help them. But I think it sounds kind of interesting. It's not really my type of book. I don't know. I don't know why I picked it up. It seemed interesting, and the spine is much prettier than the rest of the cover. So, we'll see. It's Irritable Hearts, a PTSD love story by Mac McClelland. This is a book about a woman who has post-traumatic stress disorder and is figuring out how to deal with that while falling in love. I'm going to read the actual blurb, but that's what I can tell from what I read while I was in the store. So, when 30-year-old McClellan left Haiti after reporting on the devastating earthquake of 2010, she never imagined how the assignment would irrevocably affect her own life. Back home in California, McClellan cannot stop reliving vivid scenes of violence. She is plagued by walking terrors, brutal fantasies, and crippling emotional breakdowns. She can't sleep or stop crying. Her life is in shambles. It becomes clear that she is suffering from post-traumatic stress disorder. Her bewilderment about this sudden loss of control is magnified by the intensity of her feelings for Nico, a French soldier who she met in Port-au-Prince, with whom she connected instantly and deeply. With inspiring fearlessness, McClellan tackles perhaps her most harrowing assignment to date, investigating the damage in her own mind and repairing her broken psyche. She begins to probe the depths of her illness, exploring our culture's history of PTSD, delving into the latest research by the country's top scientists and therapists, and spending time with veterans and their families. McClellan discovers that she is far from alone. While we frequently associate PTSD with wartime combat, it is more often caused by other manner of trauma and can even be contagious. Close proximity to those afflicted can trigger its symptoms, and she confronts the realities of her diagnosis. She opens up to the love that seems to have found her in an inopportune moment. Irritable Hearts is a searing personal medical mystery that unfolds at a breakneck pace. But it continues. But it is also a romance. McClellan fights desperately to repair her heart so that she can give it to the kind, patient, and compassionate man with whom she wants to share a life. Vivid, suspenseful, tender, and intimate, Irritable Hearts is a remarkable exploration of vulnerability and resilience, control, and acceptance. It is a riveting and hopeful story of survival, strength, and love. I think it sounds really good. This is my favorite book that I picked up, and I honestly was surprised that it was there because it seems like this would do really well in regular bookstores, but I don't know. I guess maybe not. I really like it. It sounds super interesting. I'm definitely going to actually read this one at some point. I don't know how long it's going to take me to get to it, but I'll read it. So yeah, those are all of the books I picked up. That is 6 books from the dollar store. All of them were hardback and all of them were $1. So if you are someone who's trying to build up your book collection but you don't really have the money to go to Barnes & Noble every weekend or even half price, I highly suggest checking out the bookstore because they kind of have a little bit of everything and it's literally only $1. The exact dollar store I went to was the Dollar Tree. Everything is $1 there. It's insane. So if you're looking for cheap books that may not be the best, but they're pretty good. I would highly suggest checking them out. Okay. Thank y'all so much for watching. If you like my videos, then you could go ahead and subscribe, because then you'd like get them in like your subscription box, and then you could watch them because you like them. If you like this video, thank you so much. Please hit the like button if you think I am deserving. And if you have read any of these books or want to read any of these books, please leave a comment down below, because I love talking about books. That's why I started this channel. All of my social medias are down below. They are all bookish themed, promoting all books all the time. So yeah, if I end up reading any of these, I'll make a part 2, and I'll upload it on here and say it's a part 2 and let y'all know my like wrap up of how I felt about them. I'll review them. So yeah, thank you so much. And which book should we do? I think we're gonna do the one that we ended on. Okay. Goodbye. Whee!